Hello again. In this video, as promised, we're going to go over Jacoco and how it works. So I've already got the setup up and running here because it is a lot of boilerplate code, and for both Fars's time's sake, I don't want to waste time on those minor details, but rather just have it coded and then explain exactly what changed, instead of getting caught up in a flurry of me typing while you spend your valuable time watching. So if we go to our pom.xml file, we'll see some changes which I've made on my end, and these will be including a Jacoco dependency at the bottom of our dependency list right here, which is Jacoco Maven plugin. This was once again found in the Maven repository, mvnrepository.com. And then furthermore, if we go down to our plugins, we'll see there's a new plugin added in for Jacoco, which is right here. And this is the beast I was referring to about not wanting to code in front of you guys because it's very error prone. It's just a lot of boilerplate. You can find this code online for the Jacoco setup, and I will try to find a way to get it into the files for this course, and that way it's easily downloadable. But yeah, that's that. We've got a few different sets here. The Jacoco Maven plugin, which matches what's above in the dependency. The version, you'll notice a cryptic layer here. If we go to the top of the file, then we will see Jacoco version is 0.7.9 and a property tag here. You can declare your Java versions as well, etc. So we're going to come back to the bottom here. And we also see there's a number of steps: prepare the agent, report, and then post unit test. These are all just boilerplate again. The real part that you might want to change is your configuration so that it goes to target Jacoco exec is the data file, and then the directory is target/Jacoco unit test. You can change these out to what you need them to be if you want to change them. I generally leave them the same, as it's just fine as it is. Now there's one step left we have to do, and that's going to our run configuration here and editing it. If you remember last time we ran some tests, it automatically creates a run configuration in IntelliJ for us called the name of the class, tests. If we come down here to before launch build activate tool window, we can click plus and then go down to run Maven goal. If we go to run Maven goal, then we can start entering Maven commands. In this case, we're going to want to clean the project, and we'll get some hints. We're going to want to test the project. So clean test. That ensures that it cleans out all the build files we had from prior, and then also goes ahead and runs the test suite, which then runs the Jacoco. So now if we come back to our application tests and we click run with coverage, we'll see the whole shazam go on with everything getting set up and ready to go. And then at the end, we can see the coverage window pop up on the top right, but we'll also have an HTML coverage. So we can see that it's starting the app, and it's doing its clean process right now. Two tests were run, 0 were failed. Now we're actually doing the coverage report. So now it's running through the tests. Two tests passed. On the top right here, we can see 100% of the classes, 93% of the lines covered in the scope. If we double click here, then we can just drill in and see which class it was. The demo Spring Boot application had 66% of its methods covered. Alright, but if we go to the controller and double click the main controller, we can see these little green lines that tell us what was covered and what wasn't covered and how many times it was hit in the tests. So that's our test coverage, and I mean that's all fine and good, but what if we want to have something that we can show the boss or somebody non-technical to give them a bit of a better feeling? If we go to target to Jacoco UT, like we declared in the POM, and we right click on index.html, we should see show in Finder if you're on a Mac, or show in Explorer if you're on Windows. And this one will now take you directly to the directory on your machine that has it. And if we double click the index file, we now get a visual representation of our test coverage. And we can see the controllers are covered 100%, the models are covered 100%, and the Spring Boot section is not covered 100%. We're going to start with the controller method, controller package, and then come here, and we can pick any method we like. We're going to pick the test post method. We can see which lines of code were covered by which screen, and that does indeed include everything that's executable. It creates a new instance of main controller by calling its constructor, and then it calls both the methods. If we go back up to the top level and choose the demo Spring Boot, we can see there were 5 missed instructions out of 43. And so there was 1 missed here, and 1 missed here, and then 2 missed here. So now if we go into the application, we can figure out it was main that never got called. So if we click on main, we can see that main indeed was never called, which makes sense because we're not actually calling it explicitly. Main is implicitly called. But everything else in here, the Swagger was run and the API info was run and runs just fine. This is something you get for free with the Swagger stuff. So that's all we have for this. So just to summarize, in this course you learned how to make GET and POST calls with Spring, how to use the request param and request body annotations, how to use the controller and REST controller annotations, how to display your API using Swagger UI, how to unit test, and how to create Jacoco test reports that you can show to somebody non-technical or use for yourself to show the progress of your project. So that's going to conclude this course. Thank you so much for joining me in this journey, and I hope to see you in another course.